So what's up all you crazy bushcrafters, Dan here from Coalcracker. Today we're going to be talking about one of those items that I think every bushcrafter has inside their kit, and that's jute twine. We don't want the roll to fall apart. So jute twine, it is one of those things that we all probably have in our kit. There's just so many different things you can do with it. So number one, we can bind and lash things together with it. It is not the strongest, but it does get the job done. But for crafting type items like making rope spinners or an awl, straight lashes, this stuff, it works absolutely wonderfully. But the better part of having jute twine along with you is you can process it down and you can make a fire starter. So jute twine is made of a natural material, so once we break that down, the fibers just the same as if we would gather bark and process the bark down. The smaller fibers become exposed and we really easily can create a bird's nest that we can use to put an ember for flint and steel, or we can just strike it with a ferrocerium rod and light it. Now the problem that I see with most people though is they take this big long strand and they start to attempt to break it down this way. So they start to take it apart. In this case we have 3-ply, and they start to struggle, which you can see I'm sort of struggling right now, and they start to try to take this apart and it's winding back up on itself, and it just becomes a hassle, right? And it's not fast and it's not efficient, and nobody wants to sit around camp for a long time trying to process this stuff out to just get a fire going. So that's what today's tip is. How do we process this super quick in the field? We teach this at all our classes, so I'm going to teach it to you now, and you're not going to have to worry about that big mess. So when it comes to your jute twine, what you don't want to do is take big long strands and try to process it down. You want to cut them around 4 to 6 inches in length, okay? So we're going to cut that just like this, and it's going to make it much more manageable to create that bird's nest. So really easily now, what you're going to do is you're just going to spin this apart, and you're going to notice it's going to have 3 or 4 or 5 strands within it. You saw how easy that came apart, and now I could take those strands and literally grab them in the middle and just pull them apart like this, and really quickly you could see how fast I'm already making that fluff that we want for our fire starter. Okay, this eliminates a lot of time and a lot of stress trying to take big long pieces and break them down. Shorter, definitely better in this case. And just like that, boom, you already have the beginning of your bird's nest. Now you make a couple pieces of this and you can see really quickly you would have a nice bundle of it that you can start your fires with. Now jute twine does light up and burn up pretty quickly, so you're going to want to make enough of this. What I really think is the best with the jute twine is to take this and utilize this along with the natural material, because this is normally nice and dry because it's coming out of your kit. It lights up really easily, and the flame, although it's not the longest, is long enough to dry out natural grasses or barks and then get that stuff going. So supplemental with natural materials, this stuff is absolutely great. So I highly recommend carrying some of this along with you. You don't need a ton of it, but definitely have some inside your kit. That's it, quick tip for today. Easy breezy, like that's how we love it on this channel, right? So carry jute twine, cut it in small sections, break it down, you'll be good to go. So this was Dan Woolwack of Coalcracker Bushcraft. As always, check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com, school, merchandise, blog, all the good stuff. Click the subscription link below if you haven't already. And until the next video, stay in the woods.